And furthermore, by these my son, be admonished. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Julia and I have been educated at home our entire life, and we are forever grateful to our parents and our siblings for all their efforts in our education. It takes a family to raise a child. So, my name is Julia, and my name is Janessa. We are twins that love being twins. We are born-again Hebrews, Hebrew meaning crossing or passing over or through. We are submitted daughters of the Most High King, Yahweh, creator of the heavens and the earth, and are saved by the precious blood of his Son, Yeshua Messiah. First of all, we would like to thank our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, for blessing us with such wonderful parents, siblings who are our best friends, and a beautiful and safe home to be raised in. It has been the greatest blessing of all to have grown up with the knowledge of our Creator, who has become the very dearest friend and father to both of us. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Exodus 20, verse 12. And then Psalms 127, 3-5. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. We want to extend a deep and sincere thank you to our parents for raising us in the knowledge and fear of Yahweh and in the completeness of all his word and law. Thank you, Dad and Mom, for raising us on a farm with so many siblings, bringing us camping to the cabin and mountains, sharing with us world politics and happenings, teaching us critical thinking skills, instilling in us a love for nature and animals, and giving us the beautiful gift of music from a young age. Thank you for all the traveling you have done with us, and for never discouraging our interests or endeavors of learning and self-teaching. You've instilled in us the great values and rewards of hard work. Thank you from the depths of our hearts. We love you both so much. So, we are going to share with you a little bit of our home education journey. Julia, what has your home education looked like thus far? Dad and Mom have not educated us by the standards that the government gives to the public school education system. Rather, everything that Dad and Mom have taught us has been influenced and inspired by God's holy word. They have nourished in us skills that go beyond academics and reach deep into real life skills. They have taught us to love Yahweh with all our hearts, love our neighbor as ourselves, and have nurtured in us character qualities of responsibility and hard work, as well as critical and independent thinking. Play was an incredibly important part of our early education and character development. If we had not been allowed and encouraged to play outside in the bush, making tree forts and playing Indians, we would not be who we are today. It is amazing how children will create their own fun with limited resources if given the opportunity. Mom and Dad had each of us in charge of something on the farm. I was in charge of ducks, chickens, and goats with some of my other siblings. We learned to communicate with each other and had the responsibility of caring for the needs of our animals. I learned how to train goats just by spending time with them. I found out at a very young age that goats love oats and will do anything for them. The Bible is the most important and influential book I read. Studying it covers history, poetry, philosophy, science, biology, diet, and health, English, reading, writing, grammar, spelling, morality, and even math, like when God divided the light from the darkness. I've written out by hand the books of Genesis, Exodus, and Leviticus. I've kept book reports, and I keep a journal. I enjoy math and my music theory studies, which are surprisingly mathematical. I've read a number of J. Henty books, historical biographies. I don't read romance novels. In my opinion, they really just waste one's time and fill one's head with dangerous nonsense. I'm fascinated with earth early North American history of the fur trade, mountain men and their lifestyle, and wilderness survival. I've studied extensively on geese. You know when they fly in a V. Do you know why one side is longer than the other? I've come to the conclusion that it is because there are just more geese on that side than the other. Some of my favorite books, besides the Bible, have been North Decree Lake, Face the North Wind by L.A. Karras, Life and Death in Shanghai by Nin Cheng, 31 Years on the Plains and in the Mountains, The Little Woman by Gladys Aylward, and How to Become a Better Twin by Janessa. The definition of science is the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. So, most of my life has been a gigantic science study. To break it down, some of my science studies have included, but are not limited to, communicating through speech and music, raising, training, and caring for animals and birds of all kinds, brain tanning, pickling hides, butchering, sausage making, and dry curing, knife making, leather sewing, trapping, hunting, survival, cooking, and baking. Mom and Dad put me in violin lessons with Brooke when I was 3 years old. I played for a couple years and then broke my violin and stopped. I took piano with Bree, completed my grade 8 RCM, and 3 years ago I picked my violin back up and am nearly done completing my grade 8 violin RCM exam. It's been awesome having all my music teachers in my own home. Julia, what are some of your ambitions in your life right now and for the near future? I have a leather business of making custom mucklucks, beaver mitts, fur hats, vests, coats, etc. You can see a bunch of pictures of her work on our website, thebiegelfamily.com. I have a herd of milking goats that I'm expanding, and I'm starting a mule breeding training business. We have our first baby mule coming this summer. This winter I plan to make snowshoes and continue brain tanning buffalo hides for making traditional robes and rugs. I'm so thankful for how Dad and Mom have encouraged and supported and advertised for each one of us in our individual businesses. I thank my Heavenly Father for all that He has blessed me with, especially my parents, siblings, and our farm. I'm so grateful that He has given me the narrow path to walk. It is difficult, but extremely rewarding. And I look forward with great anticipation to what He has in store for me. Jenny, what has your homeschool education been like? Okay, well, I started reading at the age of 2. And you know, that's what's so incredibly awesome about homeschooling. You're able to start education at such a young age and get those children into those books as soon as possible. Because if you don't get them reading really early on, you'll have lost so much valuable time and they'll never be able to compete with their peers. No. That was all a complete joke. We had more important things to do, like playing outside. Yeah. My reading started at around age 8. And it definitely has not hindered or set me back at all in my learning abilities. Learning to read was largely accomplished every morning during Bible reading. Julie and I would sit on Dad's lap and follow the words as he read. We paid special attention because every once in a while he would stop and ask where he was on the page, and we didn't want to disappoint him. When Julie and I were about 9, Mom started us out writing the book of Genesis, and I completed writing Genesis and Exodus by hand. Something we are very grateful for is that Mom took time to read to us in the evenings before we went to bed. We always looked forward to bedtime story time. Brooklyn and Amber each had their times of doing special classes with us, which I enjoyed. The Bible has been the most educational book I've read, and it's been proven to be the most historically accurate ancient book in the world. The Bible has been my primary textbook in writing, grammar, spelling, history, and science. I've read a number of historical books like G.A. Henty, books on herbalism, spoon carving, and the ancient arts of survival. When I was 10, I entered a local writing contest at the Grand Prairie Library. I wrote a story called A Scream in the Night about a scary cougar, a little girl, and her big, strong, brave dad who saved her. I was thrilled to receive honorable mentions. Since I was 11, I've been quite regular in keeping a journal. Brooke and Linnae have been a great inspiration in that area. Yeah. Like Julia explained, we spent hours playing outside, making things, being with the animals and each other. Amber spent lots of time with us picking berries. We'd fill our little cups with Saskatoon berries, tiny wild strawberries and raspberries, then cover them with cream and sugar and present them to Dad after he came in from a long, dusty day of haying. Dad and Mum have viewed music education very foundational for the development of a child's brain, character, motor skills, coordination, and creativity. Thus, they immersed us into music at a young age, beginning with singing, dancing, and always having good music playing in the house. At around age 7, Mum and Dad put us into private music lessons with our big sister Breanne, who is being coached by her teacher on how to teach piano to 2 little brown-haired double makers. I've completed my RCM grade 8 and am nearly finished completing my RCM grade 10 practical piano exam. I've taken some voice lessons with Amberlin, have taught myself recorder, and greatly enjoy composing on the piano. Brooklyn has given me speech lessons, and I've represented Grand Prairie for speech arts in the Alberta Provincial Music Festival, and this year I am representing senior piano. More recently, Linnae has been a great help in teaching and coaching Julie and I in our baking and cooking skills. My favorite thing to do is to spend time with my family. Next, it would be outside being with the animals, some of which are my very best friends. I've done some very detailed beadwork on leather, handmade a complete yoke and harness for our yaks, brain tanned the hides of elk, yak, deer, coyotes, and beavers, and am in the process of completing a bull bison hide and 7 deer hides. I've done some knife making, leather and rawhide work, wood burning, also called pyrography. I enjoy making birch syrup and also training horses, yaks, goats, and even chickens. Jenny, what is your biggest excitement in your life right now and for the near future? Well, I've decided I want to win the next lottery so that I will never have to work again. No, seriously. I am very excited to expand my livestock quality in horses, yaks, goats, and mules with Julia, and eventually start my own heritage breed hatchery. I would like in the future to find a good stand of mature birch trees and start my own birch syrup business for our local area. I am enjoying learning about herbalism with my sisters, and am looking forward to growing my business of rawhide leather braiding, wood burning, leather beading for the mitts and mucklucks of Julia's customers. I also want to start supplying our whole family with our own gelatin supply from our beef hides and feet. I am excited to do more camping and backpacking with my siblings. I am also tickled pink to be learning a second language. It's a secret. My highest goal in life is to become very close to my Heavenly Father and to have Him walk with and guide me through this life. And that pretty much just sums up our home education journey thus far. Mom and Dad have been very emphatic that those who seek the will and the way of Yahweh are receiving the highest education that is possible for mortals to receive. Also, Dad always reminds us of the quote by John Maxwell: "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." We don't know what the future holds, but we know someone who does. So, we keep moving forward, striving to keep our eyes fixed on Yahweh and His Word, our minds and hands working hard and diligently to glorify Him in all that we do, and keeping our hearts turned in humility to the plan that He has for us. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our Elohim, Yahweh is one. And thou shalt love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the posts of your house and on your gates.